Interrupted coverage as always on NBC Sports in our championship match.
After Ozio started off with wins over
Nice way to begin for David Ozio. His average today,
he beat the Bob Henry in
187. And that was after that brilliant 248 start.
It's unfair, Jay. And here's a man that is, in my opinion, the best shot maker on the tour today. Brian Voss. He can play any lane condition. He can vary his speeds. Just a great player.
That comes up short, and he looks down there and shakes his head. He's wearing that Packers shirt today. Now living in Boca Raton, Florida, 31 years of age. And
here's a good look at his style, Jay. Watch this arm swing, the perfect height. He gets down at the line well over his knee, long extended fall through, and look at the balance, the straight foot at the foul line, perfect position at the foul line. And he's a good spare shooter. And I'm really showing you how well he's doing here. I'm telling you, he's a great shot, he's a great shooter, and starts with an open.
Well, he made a good try at that. I was mentioning that Packers shirt as we look again at this shot.
Watch the pin action here. He almost got lucky. He didn't play it this way, folks. It just almost happened. That head of that 8-pin almost nudged out the 10.
Voss is the Payne Stewart of the PBA Tour. Stewart wears the NFL colors in the golf tournaments, and now he's got a deal where he wears the shirt of the teams. The Packers playing here this weekend against the Vikings. Strike for Voss. The matinee idol of the PBA Tour, but soon to get married, they tell me.
That's right.
His fiancée is on hand today. There she is.
Oh my.
Ozio just left the 7.
Here's again, the player higher in the standings can pick the lane that he wants his opponent to finish on, and Brian Voss has decided he wants David Ozio to finish on 64, the lane that David's had most of his problems with. And here he made a great shot, left a solid 7. He couldn't really make much better shot than that. This I expect to be a great match, a close match, and a fairly well scoring match. Not great scores, but a good scoring match, Jay, because both these players go straight enough with the shot that they can keep it in play and not get into a lot of trouble.
Ozio with a strike in the 3rd, up by 11. Pretty lady there on the right. Nice
That's my wife.
Her. Sure is your wife, Sue. Good to see her. Voss with career earnings of $717,000 plus. Two in a row for Voss.
And there's the adjustment that you're looking for. Not there, Jay, but right here.
That was Andrea Goff, his fiancée.
Right. And you're looking for this kind of adjustment out of a great player. Brian Voss, as I mentioned, is a great shot maker. The first shot he threw on that lane was short. The washout, he came back with a lot of courage to attack the pocket that way and get the strike. Right back in the match.
Brian and Andrea have set the date for February 18th in Boca Raton.
I think so.
Oh boy, he's feeling it now.
We'll see some demonstration from both these players. Great reactions, and watch this ball, how hard it hits. Boom. The ball almost ran over the 8-pin spot. Didn't deflect at all. Watch Brian run it out. Look at this.
All the way over to lane 65.
He almost left the building, Jay. And here's another man that'll run him out. If he gets it going, you'll see David Ozio show you how he feels. His tough lane.
Well,
Fedora says finance. The only thing I manage are receipts or reimbursements.
SAP Concur uses AI to move.
Well, we've talked about the ability of these veteran professionals. The lane conditions very tough. Voss with 3 in a row. Ozio now with 2 in a row. And as you predicted, this should be something special. There's Ozio's wife again, Lisa. Oh, he got it. 3 in a row. And look at him.
Well, that's something that you really couldn't do this week, Jay, and that's trip that 4-pin. And David Ozio, when he let go of this ball, knew it was going to be a little short, a little high in the head pin. Watch the pin action. Come off the wall, the head pin to split the 4-7. Here's his reaction. What a break.
Right. First prize, $18,000 in this Milwaukee Classic. Voss is there. And that's 4 in a row for Brian Voss, who qualified first. He had the high 3-game series this week, 749.
And there's a good look at Brian getting the ball well out of the lane in the air. And the reason he's doing that is, remember when I mentioned earlier, the first part of the lane, the head area, is a little rough. The ball wants to grip it early. So Brian is eliminating that by actually throwing the ball over it in the air. He's getting the ball 5-6 feet out on the lane in the air, Jay. This is what bowling is all about. Two, on the tour anyway, two great players going head to head.
The 10 is there, and he thought he really threw that one about as good as you could.
Yeah, but what a great run.
Yes, sir. After being open in the first, 4 strikes, and then here in the 6th frame, leaving the 10-pin. There's his championship round record, 24 and 22, and a 213 average over the years. We were talking with Bob Handley while we were in the break a little while ago, and I was interested in what he said to you. Now, here's a veteran. He said it was nerves, and I just was a little quick.
Yeah, and he said it was embarrassing to miss the spares like that. He got out of time. He rushed the foul line. And like you mentioned, Jay, he was off balance because he ran to the foul line, and that's why he missed an easy spare and cost him a chance to be in this championship match.
And Ozio has 4 in a row. So these two fellas are really matching each other and making it happen in this championship match.
They are, and of course, you know, Dave Ozio feels fortunate just to be here, Jay.
Coming up next, Al McGuire's preseason basketball special. The coach, of course, had great teams here at Marquette, and then the Skins game. First 9 holes of that dandy match from the desert.
Now we're getting down to crunch time. 7th frame.
Boy, Ozio really on a run.
And I'll tell you what, Jay, it's almost impossible to explain how good he's bowling right now. This lane condition is tough. He's making it look easy. And he's bowling against, in my opinion, the best player in the world, Brian Voss, right now.
And Voss responding with a strike in the 7th. Voss asking tournament director Harry Golden for a re-rack. Chuck Lozano, our television coordinator. Kevin Shippey of the PBA Tour on hand here as usual for the televised finals of a major event. Andrea Goff.
She's learning what it's like to be the fiancée and soon to be the wife of one of the best players in the world, or if not the best player in the world, and go through this pressure.
Oh yes. Finally the 7 went down.
And there's some aggression for you. He left the 10-pin on a great hit there on a string of 4 in a row. Left the 10-pin in the 6th, comes back with a lighter hit. Watch the pin action, the power of Brian Voss's release. The pins makes him dance. Just enough to kick the 7 out.
That was after he'd asked for the re-rack over there. And here's the reaction from this talented man who came out of the Northwest and now lives down in Florida. Ozio is the leader. And here he is on 64. Gotta hurry. So he's left the 2, 4, 5.
And what great shots he has made to string 5 consecutive strikes. And again, his tough lane, lane 64, is the one that stops him. This is not an easy spare. He switches balls. He's going to throw hard and straight down the left side of the lane, right at it. Careful. He wasn't overly confident of that, Jay. Here's a good look at, watch the ball as it's rotating. It's not really gripping until right at that point and just gets enough to kick out the 4-pin. 9th frame.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy is right, Jay. What a match we've got here.
This is certainly as fine a match as we've had throughout the fall tour this year, as Ozio and Voss are tied up in a dandy here. Voss a possible 258, Ozio a possible 257.
Right, and this shot, 9th frame, Brian Voss to take the lead with a strike on 2 in a row, could take the lead.
High.
Oh,
6-10. Looking at the scoreboard.
He's checking the score. He made a mistake there, which is uncharacteristic of Brian in this situation. He's usually very good in the clutch. He got the ball well out on the lane, but he just tugged it a little bit, Jay. Pulled it. Even the best players can make a mistake. The important thing is to cover the spare.
And he does. The lead is 11 for Ozio.
Brian can strike out for a possible 236. David Ozio going at a 237 pace.
He had more strikes in this match than any throughout today.
Oh, what a great match it is, Jay. It's down to the last frame.
Introducing the new Ego Power Plus 2-stage snowblower, a heavy-duty workhorse with unmatched power from the
Voss striking to start the 10th.
All right, this one, to put pressure on David Ozio, Brian Voss must strike here.
When you go online to loveshiners.org or call this special number with your monthly gift, you'll make a difference too. And help kids like us do things we never thought we could do. When you say yes to giving just 19
Oh my, he leaves that 10 pin. And he really was pleased, I think, with that ball.
I'm sure he was very happy with the release. Everything went well, except as often happens even on the best shots. Something stood up, and this time it was the 10 pin. But the match still isn't over, Jay. With the fill, 226 for Brian Voss. David Ozio would need a mark to win the match. And
Voss,
remember,
226.
Remember, he's on his tough lane, Jay. Brian 64. He struggled on this lane.
And we'll say it again, he needs the mark to win. And this would be some victory coming all the way from the 4th spot to gain the $18,000. His wife, Lisa, looking on.
That's a good shot, Jay.
Go. 4-pin.
4-pin, and oh, look, he says, I can't believe it's down there.
But he's happy. Believe me, he is right now very happy. He can make the 4-pin, and if he makes it, he's a winner.
Oop, Lisa said.
It's hard to stay in that chair when, when it's 1 ball for the title, Jay. All right. Pick up the spare and stay behind the foul line, and he's a winner.
Got it.
Well, she's mighty happy. Brian Voss goes over to shake his hand.
And Brian said it all right there, Jay. He said to David Ozio, he said, good match.
It really was.
It was. It was a great match.
Splendid play by both of these gentlemen. And there is our champion, David Ozio, as he defeats Voss